Hello and welcome to this training session on time in range. The purpose of this video is to introduce you to the concept of time in range, what it is, and how it can be used as a glucose metric for people using flash glucose monitoring systems. I will be talking about glucose levels, which some people may refer to as sugar levels. Please note that the purpose of this video is to help you interpret the information provided by your FreeStyle Libre 2 system only. Abbott is not providing advice on treatment of your condition, nor is Abbott in any way suggesting you make changes to your treatment regimen. Your ongoing treatment regimen must always be discussed in consultation with your healthcare professional only. The huge advances in glucose monitoring technology over the past decade mean that individuals living with diabetes now have the option to replace routine finger-prick blood glucose testing with flash glucose monitoring, such as the FreeStyle Libre 2 system. However, finger-prick testing is still needed when glucose readings and alarms don't match symptoms or expectations. If you're using the FreeStyle Libre 2 sensor, your glucose is measured every minute throughout the day and night, with readings saved and stored every 15 minutes. Capturing so much glucose information makes it possible to calculate what proportion of time your glucose spends within your desired target glucose range. We call this measurement time in range. Time in range is measured as a percentage of time that a person spends with their glucose levels in a defined target glucose range. Time in range was identified as a measurement of glucose control that's easy to understand and provides useful information to act upon. It includes three key measurements: the percentage of time that an individual spends within their target glucose range, the percentage of time spent below target range, and the percentage of time spent above target range. The primary goal for effective and safe glucose control is to increase the time in range by reducing time below range and time above range. As well as being easy to measure and understand, time in range has been found to relate directly to HbA1c. In studies where time in range has been compared to HbA1c, we've been able to observe that as time in range increases, HbA1c decreases. A 70% target of time in range is recommended as it strongly correlates with the HbA1c goal of 7.0%. So, we now know that as time in range increases, HbA1c decreases. We also know that every 5% increase in time in range, equating to approximately 1 hour per day from whatever your starting point, is associated with clinically significant benefits. A 10% increase in time in range is approximately equivalent to a 0.8% reduction in HbA1c for people with diabetes. Every extra hour in range has a positive impact on your glucose control. Spending more time in range can therefore reduce the risk of long-term eye and kidney health complications. Now that we understand the benefits of increasing time in range, what's the optimal time in range? This question was raised 5 years ago by a leading group of diabetes experts, and because of this, guidelines were published which made recommendations on time in range targets. These are the guidelines that your healthcare professional will most likely also be following. For all non-pregnant adults with type 1 or type 2 diabetes who are not older or at risk, the recommended target glucose range is 3.9 to 10 millimoles per litre. Individuals are recommended to aim to spend more than 70% of the time within this range. The guidelines also recommend that the time spent below range in hypoglycemia should not exceed 4%, and that individuals should aim to spend less than 1% of the time below 3 millimoles per litre, due to the risk of severe hypoglycemia. When looking at time above range, the guidelines suggest aiming for less than 25%, with no more than 5% in the very high range, above 13.9 millimoles per litre. If you'd like to quickly assess your own time in range, Then you can simply open the report called Time in Range under the Menu tab in your FreeStyle Libre Link app or reader. Next, tap on the Time Period at the bottom of the screen to select the number of days that you wish to view your time in range. The report will show your time in range in the green box, your time below range in the red box, and your time above range in the yellow-orange box. This is an excellent way to monitor your progress and can really help to keep you motivated as you see your time in range change in response to your actions. Now that I've talked about the value of increasing time in range, here are some top tips to help you achieve this. Firstly, try to use the trend arrows when you look at your current glucose value on the home screen. Understanding the direction and speed that your glucose is heading will help you make some good decisions that could prevent your glucose going below range or rising above range. Another tip is to make use of the optional glucose alarms. These can alert you when your glucose is heading too low or too high, and again gives you the opportunity to take action to help keep your glucose within target range more often. You choose which device you want to receive alarms on, the FreeStyle Libre 2 reader or FreeStyle Libre Link app. You must start your FreeStyle Libre 2 sensor with that selected device. Once you scan your FreeStyle Libre 2 sensor with that device, you can receive alarms only on that device. Finally, view your home screen regularly throughout the day. Try to view it at least before meals and before bed. But studies have shown that people who view their glucose readings more often make timely decisions which can reduce unwanted highs and lows, leading to more time in range and less time below or above range. In summary, we know that as time in range increases, HbA1c decreases. The recommended target glucose range is 3.9 to 10 millimoles per litre for most people with type 1 or type 2 diabetes. Most people with type 1 or type 2 diabetes should aim for more than 70% time in range, less than 25% time above range, less than 4% time below range. Thank you for listening.